Hi and welcome to txtNationTV. This week is episode number 58. We're finally back on it, and we've got a lot of news to hit, from wristwatches and wrist devices to
new smartphones, new gaming systems, and how to go paperless.
Stay tuned. That's right, welcome back. My name's Rusty G.
I'm Alan.
And as we said, there's a lot to talk about this week. Just in the past 7 days, there's been a lot going on. A lot of news has been hitting the news wire, as it were, for tech. One of the big things this year, I think, for 2013 is going to be wrist smart devices. Not only watches, but other things. So
I mean, we've been following smart watches for a long time. I mean, we both carry our iPod Nano 6s here. And I think this rumor started because of the new iPod Nano, or is it Mini? Yeah, I can't keep up with them anymore, but they discontinued this look. A lot of people are up in arms like, Apple's going to develop an iWatch and it's going to rule the world. Not yet. But I think it could be a right move, and I've seen a lot of other companies, like there's the Cuckoo watch we saw, which is looks like it works on iOS and Android devices, and it looks like it's available to buy. According to the website, it looks like you can get it right now. And it lets you operate the camera from your wrist. If you walk away from your device and you find your iPhone or find your iPad, it'll alert you like, hey, you know, you left your iPad, go get it. That's what Rusty needed in Brazil.
Yeah, it would have been nice.
But it looks like it's on the right track. Maybe even I've heard of putting NFC chips in it, so that you can pay with your wrist instead of with your phone. So you can keep your phone locked away. And you can just. I like that.
I see the future of all these smart wrist devices, you know, becoming the future. I mean, we remember back in Dick Tracy days, you know, both of us as kids, you know, having that video conference on the watch.
Yeah, that was really cool.
So, you know, maybe that's something coming down the way. We don't know, but other than smart watches and things like that that connect to your smartphone, there's also bracelets out there that apparently carry a full OS. Stormfly, which is a USB bracelet, which does not have it's not a watch of any sort. It's basically just a piece of rubber that kind of clamps around and allows you to take it off, plug it into any computer, and carry your OS with you. Now, when I first read this, I thought it meant I could install Windows, I could install Mac, I could install whatever.
Yeah, I did too, because it said iOS on your wrist, or OS on your wrist, and you're like, every OS?
Yeah, exactly. So it's not every OS, it's just Ubuntu. You'll be able to carry that Linux brand on your wrist and carry all your files with you if you can. You know, I don't think it says how big, as far as it might somewhere in there.
I think it was 2 gigs. It was like 2 or 3 gigs.
Okay, yeah, and it's a Kickstarter project, so just because of the bad taste that I have in my mouth about Kickstarter projects, I want to see what this product develops. So.
And it could change. But they're talking about entry price $50.
Yeah, not bad. So that's pretty cool to see, to be able to carry a full OS on your wrist, and you have your computer, you know, technically with you at all times.
Yeah, I could just boot up anywhere pretty much.
Yeah, so speaking of Ubuntu, which is taking over the world by storm, very small storms at a time, it looks like the Ubuntu phone that everybody has been, you know, seeing, and screenshots and videos and all things that we've seen for some of the developers who've been working on it, will be coming around in October, and be looking for that. It's going to be another smartphone with no buttons, much like the BlackBerry.
It looks like an S3 that somebody just took the Samsung name off of.
I would say the Nexus 4 or that style of phone, because I mean they're all slate candy bar phones now. It's pretty much what all the smartphones are. It's gonna be different. I mean, it's gonna have the Ubuntu system running behind it. So I'm thinking they're trying to do the cross-platform thing like what Windows is with Windows Phone 8 and Windows 8 tablet devices. They're trying to create that, you know, synonymous operating system across the board. So if you're used to using Ubuntu on the Linux side of things and you're used to that, you most likely will be able to easily transit into the smartphone and be able to control everything that goes on.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll have a Android-ish feel to it.
Absolutely.
And if you got your iPhone and you're on iOS 6 and you want that look, well, fret not. With Evasion, you can now jailbreak your iPhone and go back to those old styles you had when you were on iOS 5 or iOS 4.
It looks like Evasion, which was brought to us by the Evaders, And the reason for the name, they have a full-on page about their explanation as how they got around.
They hooked up with dev?
I don't believe so, but iPhone dev team, I'm sure they all probably work together as a collaborative to create this, because all those guys are all about making sure that you can jailbreak your iPhone as soon as possible. And this has actually been one of the longest waits that we have had to wait for a jailbreak. iOS 6 has been out since the launch of iPhone 5. And a lot of people are like, when's it going to happen? When's it going to happen? You know, because they went and dropped their iPhone 4S for this new iPhone 5, but now they have the stock software. So it's been a while, but it will take care of your iOS devices from 6.0 to 6.1, which is pretty much every stock.
So it's just not iPhone 5. You can do your iPad or your iPhone 4, 4S.
Yeah, across the board. And the crazy thing about it was, in just 4 days, they had 7 million downloads and installs. I think the downloads was more, but installs was the number.
I believe it. I mean, you're right. You know, a lot of people don't even want to upgrade the next iOS until they find out that, you know, dev team or someone has, you know, jailbreaking it already.
Yeah,
so
they want to make sure that that's taken care of first, because I paid for iPhone modem, I believe it was, for $9.99, which was one of the first really good Cydia black market, or, you know, off market, that wasn't at the App Store. I paid $10 for the iPhone modem when it came out, and there was also
MyWi?
MyWi as well. I mean, both
I paid
of those,
$10 for that when it was introduced now.
Yeah, and so to be able to have those, to be able to, you know, share your Wi-Fi or share your 3G or now your LTE in a Wi-Fi hotspot without having to pay the extra 10, 30, 40, 50, whatever it is a month, which is stupid to me, but whatever. I'm with everybody on that who waits. You know, I didn't upgrade to iOS 5 on my iPhone 4 until I saw a jailbreak first.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I can believe they got all those downloads in one day, just because a lot of people were just waiting.
Yeah, and the only thing I miss is the jailbreakme.com websites. They did that for, I believe, iOS 3 and then iOS...
It was so easy.
Yeah, it was, you just went to the website, you
swiped it, and a pineapple ran across the screen, and you were all done. Yeah,
so those days are apparently gone, because as of a week or two ago on a Saturday, they now said jailbreaking is illegal again, which is weird because last year...
unlocking illegal last week?
Well, unlocking is not illegal. In the sense of, as long as the carrier unlocks it, you know, you're done with your 2-year contract, you want to leave, they will unlock your phone, or they should if you request. But jailbreaking is a little bit different, and we're going to have actually probably a text minute or a text tip on that. What's the difference between jailbreaking and unlocking? A lot of people ask me, you know, what's this, what's that, and people need to know what that is. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, this jailbreak was apparently a whole other way that they went around the jailbreak and got it done. So that's the reason why the name is Evasion and the group is Evader. So it's probably kind of cool. They have a full page rundown of how it works. So check that out. Something not iOS, something not phone, something not mobile, but something we don't cover a lot, gaming.
Yeah.
And this past week was a huge rumor mill for Xbox 360 because Microsoft is... soon pressed because of the February 20th PlayStation meeting that is happening. We don't know if that's going to be the announcement of the PlayStation 4 or not, but it's been a while since we've seen an upgrade to the Xbox and the PlayStation, you know, gaming systems.
Yeah.
So it looks like it's going to be Xbox 360. We're going to be doing some Redbox instant streaming. We're going to see what happens there. That is actually coming to the 360. If you go to, I believe it's redboxinstant.com and go to the little streaming thing, you can actually sign up for that. And just beyond the Redbox instant streaming, you're also going to see the 720, which is soon to be hopefully announced. Like I said, after the February 20th date, we'll see what happens. It looks like the next Xbox, and a friend of mine actually talked about this. He said, this is going to be the end of the Xbox. This is going to be the death of it. Because the idea is they want to have a constant broadband connection. Yeah. And I think rightfully so.
It's what you predicted, I believe, is going to come to pass. Yeah. The gaming and the media are going to be separated.
Yeah. There's no rumors of that just yet. I still think that's going to be what's going to happen because you've got to have, to be honest with you, with a gaming system that's this high-end, not like the Ouya, which we talked about previously, which was the Android-based one, which another story hit this past week was saying they're going to be doing a new one every year. But Xbox 720, they're going to want a constant internet broadband connection, because I think they're talking about DMC or something like that, or DRM, whatever it is, that they check your game to make sure it's a legit copy. And that kind of sucks.
Yeah.
Because, you know, they're thinking because of that once you buy the game, the disc is no longer really, it's just kind of like a check to say, hey, I went and spent the $60 on this game.
Your disc is a receipt.
Exactly. And so they're going to say that, you know, once you buy the game, the disc is useless after that. So it's kind of like an activation thing. Analysts are saying we don't think so. We think that would be a bad move for Xbox if they do that. And being Microsoft, I don't think so. I mean, look at Windows 8. I mean, everything's over the air, on the cloud, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So I don't think so. I mean, I could see them, you buy an activation code. Maybe the game is cheaper because you're not buying a physical and they're not having to print it out. But I'm sure they're still going to have that physical option. And if you want to buy the game online, maybe. Because there are games that you can buy, like, you know, Pac-Man or Sonic or something.
That's what I was going to ask. I don't have I'm not an Xbox user.
Yeah.
Do they have like an app store, like a game store that you can buy it online? I think that would eliminate, that would pretty much throw GameStop and all these other gaming stores
out the window. Yeah. I think it would, just because. Oh, well, it kind of depends on the nostalgic players who still want to go and buy these old systems and play their old games, because, you know, maybe the next Xbox 720 may not be backwards compatible for the old original Xbox games. I mean, there was questions as to whether or not the 360 was going to play the old Xbox games, but they brought it back and basically put an emulator of Xbox on the 360, so you can still play your Xbox games. I don't know. But the cool thing I like, they're going to switch from DVD to, get this, Blu-ray. Finally. So, exactly. You remember Xbox actually did the HD DVD thing. You could buy the extra little case and throw it in next to you. That failed miserably, obviously.
Just like the HD DVD.
Exactly. So that's awesome. They're going to go to a 50 gig Blu-ray disc. I don't know if that's going to help the game developers out to make larger games or better graphics. I don't know the developer side of things, but that's still kind of cool to see.
That's kind of Sony stabbing it in there a little bit, though.
Yeah, it is. It is, because Blu-ray is Sony's thing. So, you know, I hope that they do go Blu-ray to give more room for, you know, maybe bigger videos and more movie-like experience. Because some of these games, that's the storyline. That's how they lead you along, is once you beat a certain level, they got to show you the next storyline. So Halo 4 was big for that. Black Ops, all the Call of Duties are like that. You got to have that storyline. The other thing is they're talking about more Siri-like, you know, because Kinect already does it. You know, voice commands and stuff like that. So, I mean, I already do it. I can say, Xbox, play, you know, from the other room, and it can hear me. And I can start, you know, playing a movie if I'm already playing, or pause, or fast forward, or rewind. Or
and I could see even with that, a lot of conspiracy theorist people out there. You know, your Xbox now wants to be connected all the time, and it's got the camera up there watching you all the time.
Okay, I'm gonna flash back to Batman Returns with Jim Carrey. Do you remember him playing the Riddler and having that green box on top of the TV?
Yeah.
Well, it's not the green box, but it is the Microsoft box.
I mean, if the video looks like what they show you in the bottom right, then they're not seeing much.
Yeah, so, I mean, they're talking 8 cores for this new one, which would be awesome. It'll be a 64-bit system, 1.6 gigahertz CPU, on top of an 800 megahertz graphic solution with 8 gigs of DDR3 RAM, which is super fast. So I'm sure that it's going to be... The other question I have for these next generation gaming systems, PlayStation 4, Xbox 720, whatever they end up being called, 4K. We just got back from CES. We saw 4K being the next standard. 8K. We saw one 8K TV.
Yeah.
But 4K obviously looks to be the next standard, because there's already some minuscule content out there for it, but we don't know. So that's going to be my question. But enough of Xbox. What else we got?
Well, something... it could be tech related, but is pretty big news, is the Postal Service announcing no Saturday delivery.
Yeah, starting in August, isn't it?
Yeah, and to me, I mean, a lot of people went nuts about it, but I don't mail anything.
Yeah.
I'm kind of like that episode of Seinfeld. I don't know if you ever saw it, where Kramer pretty much said, "I'm done with the Postal Service." And this was like the late '90s.
Yeah.
And he, you know, He went to the Postmaster General, I think, who was Wilford Brimley at the time. I can't remember the episode. But he was like, well, what are you going to do about email? What about bills? The bank can pay the bills. You know?
Exactly.
So it's something that me and him kind of like to go into is becoming paperless.
Yeah.
If there's a company in Finland who has started, and it's volunteer only right now, is where they'll open your mail. And a lot of people, open my mail. Your life's not that interesting. And they'll scan it and send it to you in a PDF. I like that. I don't care. I would do that here.
There was a company that I remember watching some sort of documentary on about entrepreneurship type people. That there's a company here in the United States who I think started in New York. Same thing.
Mm-hmm.
They scan your mail. They send it to you in a PDF. I cannot for the life of me.
Earth class mail.
That's what it was. And they did that and started up a company. I don't know if they became successful at it or not. I really hope they do.
Business only right now with them.
Okay, yeah. I hope that it comes to consumer. We're in a digital age. I mean, to be honest with you, every time I start up a new service, whether it's you know, your water, your phone, your whatever, the instant I can go e-bill me, that's a check, done. I don't need paper.
And we can eliminate stamps. You know, you got to pay 40 cents for a stamp or whatever.
Actually, 47 cents I think now because this.
Whatever. You know, for the price of a Coke, you mail a letter. In Austria, they are again, I guess beta testing where the postal service will send you a numeric code that you write down.
Yeah.
You're still mailing a paper letter, but you write down that code and that's accepted because you've already paid.
Nice.
You've already paid
like a prepaid
online.
deal. Yeah.
It's kind of like you know, some businesses have it here where they can send it through their own printer.
Yeah.
Things like that. You know, and also UPS still delivers on Saturday. FedEx still delivers on Saturday.
DHL, all your other.
Yeah. And the Postal Service said that they'll still deliver packages. I don't know what they determine what becomes a package.
Yeah.
From parcel, you know, from because an envelope can be a package as well. So you know.
I think that's, again, we're in the digital age. I think they're going to do consumer level to start off with to kind of get everybody warmed up to it, and they'll eventually make it to. Because I know these businesses, some of these businesses, even my mother said, oh, those businesses get mail on Saturdays. And I was like, well, maybe they might start at the consumer level because I don't care to get mail on Saturday. I really, honestly, I don't check my mail like once a week. And I go back, I'm like, oh, look, I got all this stuff.
we don't ship anything. We don't have any overhead or stuff like I can understand if you have stock or if you're selling things like eBay, you know, things like that. Yeah. But you've got FedEx, you've got UPS, and with UPS, you can sign up for My Choice, and you can control pretty much the delivery of your package.
That's awesome.
You join that club, you can actually tell them to leave it at a neighbor's house, and you can even change the address. I've done that before in while I was en route, I was able to change the address.
Nice.
So there's a lot of ways around this, you know, no reason to freak out. You know, they're not going to run on Saturday, you know, okay, calm down. But, you know, there's ways around it. Also, there's steps to going paperless.
Yeah, so we're all about going paperless. We're all about going digital. We're all about, you know, the next big thing. So that's what we're all about. So, but that'll be it for this week's episode. We kind of covered everything that we wanted to cover. Make sure you follow us online, multiple places, facebook.com/txtNationTV.
All of our videos, youtube.com/txtNationTV.
If you want to follow us on Twitter, that's twitter.com/txtNationTV.
And friend us, facebook.com/txtNationTV.
And because I don't touch it ever, and I don't even know what our page looks like, I'll be honest with you, pinterest.com/txtNationTV.
Also, you can get a hold of us personally if you want to. I am Alan at txtnation.tv, Rusty at txtnation.tv.
And make sure you go to our website all the time and check out the latest there at txtnation.tv. We'll see you again for episode number 59.